What is going on, guys? Today is a very special episode. Welcome. My name is Malik. This is the one and only BB.
What's up, guys?
And this is the King of Average podcast. Brought to you live in Colombia, baby. Let's go. So we are over here in Santa Marta. It is the Pacific coast, right? Or the northern part of Colombia.
I believe it is the Atlantic coast.
Whatever it is, we're on the freaking coast, baby. So it's going to be, as you guys could possibly see, it's freaking gorgeous, man. So we got our GoPros. We're kind of going off the top. We weren't even expecting any of this, but we're like, we have to shoot an episode for you guys. So
Yeah, just for the vibes, we're like, dude, let's make a Colombia episode happen.
Has to.
And we'll make it super simple. Flipping, as you know, production's A1 on this side of the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're just like, dude, let's just slap a coat. If you see the table that the GoPro is sitting on right now, it's flipping phenomenal. It works great as a tripod. There's a couple pillows that are like stabilizing it. There's the flipping, the handle of the GoPro handle, like tilting the camera down. It's ridiculous, right? We got my phone set up right here as like a microphone that we're both sharing.
Yep.
So this might come out completely clapped, but we were just like, you know what, dude? We're still going to make it happen,
This is
bro.
going to be
We're
a
gonna
great
do something.
memory, to say the least. You know what? Let's start off with a question.
Okay, what's up?
All right, we'll start off with a question. When you travel, what feeling do you get when you first arrive in the location, your destination?
When I first arrived, I'll tell you what I was feeling that was like really, really strong is when I was pulling up to your house to pick you up, I just got hit with anxiety. I don't know why, but it all kind of just started to like come all at once. And I was just, for some reason, started like stressing out a little bit. Not really stressing out over something, but it was like I was anxious. I was excited.
You know what it almost was? Maybe it was. But maybe it was to the point of, we had such a great trip when we went to to Costa Rica.
Right.
That since we're going to like some of the countries right next to it, would you say that your anxiety maybe stemmed from possibly comparing, is it gonna be good enough?
That's definitely a big part of it. There's definitely a big part of it because, dude, Costa Rica was incomparable.
Nothing. No words can explain.
If you ever decide you want to go to Costa Rica, you give us a call.
Yeah.
Like, that's the first thing you do because, holy smokes, we managed in 9 days in Costa Rica to absolutely milk it of everything it had to offer. It was a phenomenal trip. And we were talking about it, on one of the planes today. We took 3 flights to finally arrive here. We were talking about it on one of the planes today. I was like, dude, I'm scared nothing will ever top Costa Rica.
Yeah.
And then you were just like, okay, well, what's wrong with that? I was just like, well, come on, if I'm gonna go out and do something, I want it to be flipping
Epic.
better and better and better.
Of course.
But going back to your question, what's the first thought that comes to your mind when you arrive in a new country like this? To be honest with you, I think my mind goes into go mode. You know what I mean? I straight go into go mode because I start to think to myself, okay, I don't want to waste another minute, right? We need to get done what we need to get done in order that we can focus on the fun that we want to have.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, kind of just get to the Airbnb, settle, put our stuff down, pray, blah, 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 this, that. Get the important stuff out of the way in order that we can finally go out, talk to people, find out more about the city, and just learn how to take advantage of every crook, every corner, and just absolutely flipping enjoy every bit of the city as we can while we're here. Because we're here for such a short period of time.
Yep. And one of the things that comes to my mind is the sense of being free.
Yeah. Ooh.
And I love that.
Like from responsibilities and
just in general, right? I don't know anyone.
being American.
I don't know where the heck I'm at. I can't speak the language properly.
Right.
I'm just...
He does great, by the way. His Spanish is actually decent.
So, I feel like when I'm over here, I mean free, not in the arrogant American way of, oh, this is not my country, I'm out of country, let me just act like a complete dirtbag.
Right.
Not in that sense. I still highly respect every country I go to. But like, I feel free in the way of like I just feel like I'm open. I need to be free in order for me to be open to different experiences. I need to be free in order for me to not be closed off. And just any vibe, any person that recommends something, just go with the flow.
Yeah.
Because based on our we're gonna be like referring back to our Costa Rica trip a lot, because that was our ideal trip that we've both ever been on.
It couldn't have gone better.
Like legit.
Crazy to say, it literally couldn't have gone better.
I've been on many trips.
Yeah.
With and without you. Like by far nothing tops that trip.
It was insane. It was insane.
And that's a lot to say.
And it was honestly, it was a trip where, like, all jokes aside, it really seemed as though God kind of like guided us through it, and like Allah just gave us the absolute best of what Costa Rica has to offer.
So I do want to like talk about it since we're over here.
Before you do though, I want to touch upon that point of being free, like feeling free.
Let's do it. Yeah.
What I like about that is, whenever I travel, one of the things I try to take advantage of is the idea of letting go, right? The idea of letting go, because when you go on vacation, dude, you're supposed to relax. You're supposed to have a good time. It's supposed to be an experience that detaches you away from all the things that normally ring through your head every single day, right? You enjoy the moment so you can clear everything out, clear your hard drive, you empty your cup, so that when you get back to the real world, you get back in a refreshed manner. So I like the idea of like being free, because you really do have to let yourself go, right? You have to let everything go, kind of feel free in the sense, in order that you can just take it all in and make the most of it.
And in a different way too, it's like you're also freeing your mind.
Right.
Right? When it's all clogged up through the days and days out just working,
just
and
radio,
struggles and
stations.
this and that and just anxiety and hassles in business, and when you travel, you rid yourself, and my personal thing, I try to rid myself of all that noise. All that, it's just, I throw everything away and I just let it be.
Yeah.
I enjoy myself, I enjoy the moment, so that way when I come back, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to attack anything, bring it on. So I feel like that's very beneficial, because a lot of people spend their money on cars that they're not making money off of. A lot of people are, off designer, Gucci, Louis, this, that. Stuff that absolutely is meaningless in my life, right? So that whole thing of traveling, we picked Colombia. Funny enough, I was telling Bibi that, like, man, I want to go to two countries, either or. And I was like, I'm down to go to either Colombia or Croatia. So he's like, dude, I'm down for whatever. So I was like, okay, that's perfect. I go to Google Flights. Shout out Google Flights. If you guys ever need this quick plug for like no benefit to me whatsoever.
There's no other place to start.
It's amazing. Google Flights for all of your booking needs. There you go. I check it out. I was like, let's see what the plane tickets are going to be, right? The prices. Turns out Croatia was like $1,400. Colombia was way less. It was like $354 or something like that. I told Bibi, and we both kind of said it at the same time. We're like, I guess we're going to Colombia, my boy. So here we are, off a recommendation. Who recommended Santa Marta to us?
Santa Marta. I mean, if you kind of like just like Google search top things to do in Colombia, it will bring up Cartagena, which is like down the coast a little bit. It'll bring up Santa Marta, Tirona. But then you start to realize when you want to travel Colombia, it's like to get from one major city to another, you got to take this plane, that plane, this plane, that plane. Mind you, the flights within the country are pretty cheap. They go anywhere from like
25
to $40 to get, one-way ticket to somewhere, right? So it's really not a big deal. But the thing is, it's like, we have 8 days. Do we really want to spend a lot of time flying? Like, what's the situation here? And so our good friend Ali Saad, he was like, no, dude, top destinations, it's got to be Santa Marta, and then it's got to be Medellin.
Let's go.
So what's super, super exciting is we're spending 2 nights here, or technically 2 days, right? 2 days here, and then afterwards we're spending 4 to 5 days in Medellin to go hang out with Ali Sad.
Yep.
And that's gonna be a vibe.
That's going to be very, very exciting. But I do want to talk about, since we're in the travel mood, I do want to talk about the possible negative stigma towards traveling. I want to focus on one part, it being too expensive. Okay? Now, when you travel, not many people have. Actually, it's crazy whenever I talk to people in California. Hey, I've been to here, I've been to here. How about you? Where have you been? I've been to like Las Vegas, which is like a 4-hour drive. You know what I'm saying? Like that was their traveling. I went to Arizona. Like, to each his own. But when people hit me with the it's too expensive, I always tell them, what is too expensive? You think you're gonna drop 5 G's on a trip? 10 G's, 15 G's, something ridiculous? No. So when you gotta do your research, turns out it's not gonna be as expensive as you think.
You know what's funny? You say 5 G's. Just yesterday we were having like a business dinner with some guy, and you know we're talking Coastal King, we're talking car rentals, whatever. A business dinner, right? And he was explaining that you know he went through some traumatic experience in his life where he got a divorce, this and that, and it was bothering him a lot. And he literally allocated a year and a half with a maximum of $5,000 to get the hell out of home and go wherever he can go.
Wow.
So, you know, here we are, like we're talking, you know, like, okay, a nice regular trip is like at least 5 days. If you want to really enjoy a town, a country, whatever, the mountainside, whatever the case, if you go 5 days, chances are you're going to start getting sick of it before you need to move around again, right? So 5 days is a good time. For you to think you're going to spend $1,000 per day in those 5 days, you're watching too many YouTube videos.
True.
You know what I mean?
True.
You're watching too many videos of those guys who, you know, they wanna put their party lifestyle on blast because that supposedly is how you enjoy life.
I guess it also just depends on your preference.
Mm-hmm.
How do you like to travel? I know the way we like to travel is this.
Yeah.
Right? The beach, going on a long hike, beautiful views, just more nature, more experiences, just going out.
And we're bums, by the way.
Yeah, for
like
real.
when we travel, we're bums. The fact that we're in an Airbnb is so unlike us.
No, we're usually like in a hostel shared with like 15 other people by now. So
you don't have to put us on blast like that.
I mean, it's a hostel. What do you expect, right? But still, hostels have their own vibes to it. But then again, since we're talking about a hostel, you don't have to go Airbnb, right? Airbnb is going to be more of the expensive route. The reason why we chose an Airbnb, one, we wanted to mix it up. But then second too is like Colombia is not really that expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So having an Airbnb out here is just like getting almost like a Motel 6 back in California per night.
Yeah. Even cheaper.
Which is ridiculous to
Even
think.
cheaper, yeah.
Because you're seeing we have this whole thing, we have the beach, everything behind us.
But it's funny because even when we went to Malaysia, Thailand, it was funny because we intended on opting in for the hostel route. We're like, dude, $7 a night, you can't flip and beat it. But next thing you know, it's like for $15 a night, you can get a hotel room.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's ridiculous. You know, it's ridiculous. It 100% depends on the destination, but it also 100% depends on your vibe. How do you like to travel?
Yeah.
We're very low maintenance. We're very simple. We're very basic when it comes down to traveling because, like he said, for us, it's all about experiencing what the country has to offer, not necessarily what the people of the country have to offer.
Well, a part of the people actually do have something to do with it, with the whole culture, right? When you
I'm
ask
just thinking
people,
in the sense of like going out and like the nightlife.
Oh, like clubbing and stuff like that.
Exactly. Like, we don't care.
We don't entertain that too much.
Yeah.
That's not our main focus. Whenever we go to Colombia, because like
all.
Obviously, especially talking about Colombia, a lot of people like have looked at me whenever I told them like I'm going to Colombia. They give me the dirtiest look. They're like, "Why are you going to Colombia, buddy?"
Yeah, but then again, when you told them you went to Thailand, they're like,
They said the same thing.
They go, "Oh, in your age, it's perfect to go to Thailand." Like, dude, calm down. Like, you know, you're talking to a different person right now.
Yeah, for real. But like, what we do, and I'm really happy that we do it, is that we go up to random people. regardless of whether we know the language or we don't. We go up to people, we're friendly, we're cool, we ask recommendations, and it's crazy because you might think at the time that you're bothering this person, that they're taking time out of their day to attend to whatever question that you have. It's not that deep. Many times people want to help you. So, which is actually great if you can actually talk about the whole Aladdin effect.
Oh, snap. Thank you for reminding me because I wanted to bring it up, but like at some point.
No, it's like, I just linked it together right now. It's perfect.
I remember like a dude, like probably like 10 years ago. This was probably even high school, right? Somebody was explaining this concept of the Aladdin effect and how some guy wrote a book about it. And within this guy's story, within the book, and I'm paraphrasing, I'm probably butchering it, but whatever the case is, there's a premise, right? The premise of this book was quite simply, he went into a strange land, a land that's strange to him. He put himself in an uncomfortable situation, but he was able, through asking the right questions, and specifically through giving off this aura of, hey, I'm not from around here, I need help getting around, but also asking the right questions, talking to the right people, to where this destination that he found himself in, he found himself eating for free. He found himself sleeping for free under a roof, getting transported for free. Why? Because once again, you ask the right questions, but you talk to the right people, and you're gonna end up in a situation where someone's gonna be like, oh, dude, you wanna see something sick? Grab my hand. Let me go take you.
Yep.
Oh, you're not from around here? And this is very like, you know, like Arabs are very hospitable, right?
Yeah.
Muslims are very hospitable. That's like, oh, you're not from around here? No, you're coming to my place and you're having a cup of tea before you do anything else.
You know, let's stop right there, right? Because it's so perfect, and we do that so much.
Yeah.
Remember when Joed brought his coworker to us?
Uh-huh.
A random guy, a coworker of his that came from a different state, came up to Joed, one of our boys that we've known since like the 6th grade, and like legit, we brought this guy in. And we showed him the best time that you could possibly have in Southern California.
Quite simply, it's actually really funny. It's not like we even...
He was a stranger. We brought him in. Like, no. Like, here's what you're going to do.
Yeah. And literally, quite simply, you know what it was? We were just like, listen, we're going to have our plans, but you're just going to stick yourself in the middle of them, and you're just going to move with us as a group.
Yes.
And the dude, yeah, for sure had like a great California experience.
But what I'm trying to link it to is that we do that so many times.
Right.
Whenever a person's coming like out of state, or maybe it's a homie's sibling, or not a sibling, but like family member, cousin, or whatever, you automatically want to help them.
Yeah, it's almost a flex.
Right? You want to take care of them because you want to recommend that one spot with the view overlooking the beach. So that way they go ahead, they hit you up like, dude, medic, that was amazing. Bro, baby, thank you so much for recommending me that one spot. That restaurant was the best thing ever. Like, getting that is so self-fulfilling that, you know, regardless of whether you take the person with you or not, just the fact that you're able to help someone. We all want to help someone. We all feel good helping someone. Now, it doesn't necessarily always mean by time. It doesn't necessarily always mean by money. Because whenever you think of helping someone, you just think of like, oh, I'm gonna dish out a couple $100 or some money in general, or
buy 30 pizzas,
whatever it is, and just, you know, that's not necessarily always the case, right? Now, when you help someone, a recommendation, listening to them could be help. So many times we do that to other people, so it's not that we expect that from other people, but maybe we bring that energy to, yo, we don't know what we're doing, but we're freaking down for just about everything, right? Now, just because we're open, obviously we do have our moral compass, we do have, you know, some common sense behind a lot of our judgments. It's not just like, oh, hey stranger, you want to go take me to like a certain like location where I don't even know and blah, blah, blah. I'm down. I'm not going to do any research on it. I'm not going to Google it, whatever it is. All right, cool. That's not the case. Obviously, be smart about things. But for the most part, when you're open, you open yourself to a different world. You open yourself to a lot of routes and experiences that you will never forget.
Yeah, and it's kind of unfortunate that like being curious is now a commonly an uncomfortable thing to be. You know? Dude, when you're genuinely like, okay, after we're done here, we're going to go and see what's around our area, right? We're going to see what's down there. if I'm gonna be curious, I'm gonna have 1,000 questions running through my head, but I'm not gonna ask anybody. I'm just gonna miss out on everything. Mm-hmm. So many opportunities are just gonna just completely go by me, right? But because I'm curious, and because, okay, maybe it makes me a little bit uncomfortable, but I want to get my questions answered. I want to find out what's dope around here. I want to find out what the best restaurant is. I want to find out where everybody goes. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Because I'm comfortable with being curious, it's only naturally going to take me further.
Yeah. I mean, that's solid, man. So,
and then also, actually, you know, on the point you mentioned, where it's like, you know, have some common sense or be smart about it or whatever. Honestly, it's like, especially when you're in a foreign country, don't do things alone. Don't do things alone. Always have your boys with you. Always have your group with you, right? I know this whole conversation about travel is a little bit weird because, like, you know, girls from our cultures and whatnot, it's kind of like they don't get to travel alone and whatnot. So this is for the boys. Anyways. So always make sure you're with your people, right? Because at the end of the day, you're in a foreign place, right? Those are the people you can trust. Those are the people who you know got your back the entire time. You got to be able to fight for each other. And nobody gets into no fights, alhamdulillah. But like still, you got to always stay together as a unit because as long as you do that, your safety will be a lot better.
Yeah. I know it's kind of easier said than done, but don't be a punk. Right. But yet again, don't be a hard ass. Don't be going around like you're trying to intimidate everyone. Your posture's super big and you're just... Mm-hmm. No, man. Like,
yeah, respect the people of their country.
Respect the people. Not everyone's out to get you, but at the same time, keep your guard up. Look over your shoulder. Do whatever it is, and you'll have a great trip.
Yeah.
I think you'll have a great trip. So, I mean, I love the fact that we put this together.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been trying to look at you, but then I'm just not even focusing on you. I'm just focusing on such a beautiful view.
I would too, bro. I would too.
A beautiful view, and I'm still in disbelief, guys, but I'm just so... I'm blessed, man. I'm happy.
No, honestly,
right?
Screw you guys. We're going to get out of here.
Yeah, for real, guys. And then with that said, thank you so much for tuning in. This is Melik. We got...
BB.
And welcome back. F this, bro. I'm always screwing it up. Hold on, I gotta finish this up.
All right, go ahead.
All right. This is Melik and BB. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is the King of Average podcast, and we'll talk to you later, guys.
Live from Colombia, baby. Peace.